Hey everyone, it is Kazlo, and we're back with some more Endwalker highlights. We wrapped up last time finishing up Elpis and then saving some Thavnarian refugees in Garlemald. So now we're going back to talk to the Forum and try and figure out how to find Medion and take her down. So I will see everyone after those highlights. You must find a means to reach Medion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon whereversoever she has made her nest. The commuting with Heidelin must by necessity come first. Did you and Master Matoya have any luck with your investigation into the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not, though we enlisted the help of Arenvold and other Echo-blessed allies, we couldn't detect so much of a whisper from Heidelin, even from within the anti-tower. Master Matoya is of the opinion that in the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Heidelin. So, it would most likely be some form of apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea, built closer to home. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the rostra, where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus.
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, at their request, on the Great Exodus. You may enter.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Charlian has labored these many long years.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational, and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner The primary means of propulsion, once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration. I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms? "71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it. Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Back to this terrible music.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost me eyebrows. Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Fortuneau, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the ether burner conundrum. There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the ether burner.
Aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place? Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ends like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the Northern Empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
Want me to go fetch the Watsits?
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward. This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-foot expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists, or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Anyway, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Find a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
Ah, the Alamegans.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things. I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
There you are! We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already... Ah. That was a roar! A dragon's roar!
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honorable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Hmm? Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
I love that they pulled in Cockle, which is another Final Fantasy IV character. The guy who, if I remember right, he makes Excalibur. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, for having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous, looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like the hatted rabbit that ran by. So, they're already probably down here. Living way. Fancy meeting you here, Caslow. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which is quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is Aetherius itself. We now find ourselves in a funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour. It appears they're rather preoccupied, honestly. All that time to prepare, and they're still not ready. Suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around. Or at least, that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Yorianche and your good self. As you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you can show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? It's all very wonderful, I'm sure. I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food? I believe the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Mariel Ergonomics. Let us brook no further delay. This is the place, yes. The aroma was enough to guide me here. I spotted several fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. Dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourself. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So where to begin? Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. Tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? If you don't know, this first choice is actually from a short story where a Zem helped save a whole bit of people from an erupting volcano. And when complained to Emmett Selk, he said he did it to make sure that they could keep this bunch of grapes. Wonder though, is there anything even more delicious? How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Oh god, is he gonna eat a lemon? What a wondrous fragrance. Good luck. It'll have a flavor to match. So I have no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. Ah, my tongue! Is this poison? A lemon? I mean, it's supposed to taste like this. How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? Maybe some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Sarah farewells and return to the others. Rather enamored with the grapes and oranges. Less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. And there was the lemon, the deceiver. I feel so violated. First time, was it? Hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth, in more ways than one. So I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. This doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon, have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to... Oof, a bit of sick came up there. Learn more about your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin. Do your worst. This is delicious. Though I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. Never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. A good chap, this is simply breathtaking. Mankind, the Lilliprints, we were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fate of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. It is the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Its civilizations, since time immemorial, have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. Pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and to make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. That was actually a really good lesson that they put into this game that nobody ever talks about. Because we continue to make the same mistakes, letting perfection be the enemy of progress. Like, it's okay to strive towards perfection, but know that it's never really attainable. Well, there you have it, everyone. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. I love that segment with Cooking Way. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more highlights like these, I put them out every week. Be sure to click that subscribe button so that they pop up in your feed immediately when I release them. Otherwise, there's links in the description below to my Twitch channel, where you can give me a follow and know anytime I go live playing any game, as well as links to my social media and a link to my Discord channel if you want to be part of the daily community. With that said, I'll see everyone next time. Take care.